Welcome back to Unwrapped. Today we've gorged ourselves with all kinds of tidbits about the food we find at Disney World. And right now, we're going to tie the knot on our program with a look at some fantasy wedding cakes. How do chefs construct something that looks almost too good to eat? And what are all those fancy decorations made of? Well, let's find out as we go backstage to watch pastry artists prepare for the big event. It's the biggest day of a couple's life.
Dearly beloved.
And for some, that means a little Disney magic making their marriage even more memorable.
I, Ryan, take the Elizabeth.
I, Ryan, take the Elizabeth.
From Cinderella's footman serving as ring bearer to a towering castle-topped cake, a Disney wedding is a true fairy tale brought to life.
It is my pleasure to pronounce that they are husband and wife.
Ryan and Beth Shuck dreamed of getting hitched at Walt Disney World Resort.
And we're a big Disney family, so we're here all the time.
Congratulations! The dance floor is yours.
So it was only appropriate that they celebrate their marriage with Mickey Mouse. Rather than many mini cakes, the bride and groom opted for a traditional 5-tier cake. A Disney wedding can be designed to fit almost any budget, from simple to spectacular. And the talented pastry chefs at Disney make some of the most elaborate wedding cakes in the world.
Most expensive cake was about $15,000. We do anything the guests ask us to do.
From fruitcakes coated with jam,
well, that is really a traditional English wedding cake,
to lavish cakes covered with gold. Making these masterpieces takes days of preparation. Before the delicate decorations can be added, bakers mix up massive bowls of batter and bake cakes in just about every size, from giant base layers to tiny toppers. Once they've cooled, the Disney chefs slice off the top and bottom of each cake to create a flat surface for decorating. The cakes are then cut into layers and dampened with just a little sugar water to help them stay moist. Flavorful fillings from chocolate mousse to fresh strawberries are added. Then the layers are stacked, frosted in buttercream, and covered in fondant. Fondant is simple sugar dough that gives the cakes a satiny, smooth appearance. But getting it on is harder than it looks.
You start at the top, you work your way down by turning the table constantly, so when you stretch it to that way.
Once the cake is completely covered, it's time for a trim.
This is better than a knife because it cuts it much cleaner, I think it turned out great.
Besides covering the cakes, fondant can also be shaped into just about anything, from delicate flowers to puffy clouds. To create this effect, powdered food coloring is mixed into the clay-like fondant, then it's rolled flat.
I've just got to cut some cloud shapes out of this.
The clouds are then attached to the cake with a dab of water.
The top of this cake will have a white chocolate castle, so this is going to make it look as though the castle's in the clouds. And the finishing touch.
At Disney, there's even a special cake painter.
I'm an artist that paints with chocolate.
Jean Erskine transforms wedding cakes into works of art.
I'm actually painting right on the cake itself.
Jean uses melted cocoa butter mixed with food coloring to custom blend her paints. She's even able to match her design to the bride's dress.
I've taken it right off the bodice of the gown.
One of the favorite wedding cakes at Disney stars the world's most famous mouse.
We're using a stamp, and then you put it in a powder, and you stamp the side of the cake with used to be a pin. It's a Disney pin that we used to wear.
If you look closely, you might find a mini Donald that has sneaked its way onto the cake. After hours of stamping, the Mickey cake is ready to be stacked. First, wooden support dowels are carefully placed inside the cakes. Then all 5 layers are precisely put in position.
You should fit in between.
There you go. Right. Good.
Silver ribbon and a white chocolate Cinderella's castle create the finishing touch.
It's done.
Finally, it's time for this 80-pound masterpiece to take center stage. It takes 3 people to cautiously move the cake from the bakery to the wedding reception.
No, we've never dropped a cake.
The bride and the groom always get the first look.
Oh my god. Oh, it's perfect. There's Donald Duck and Mickey's in it.
After serving as the wedding centerpiece, it's time for the cake to become just dessert. In just a matter of moments, the exquisite cake is dismantled and cut into hundreds of pieces.
No, it don't bother me because I'm still a chef, so I'm not a Picasso or anything. I'm a chef and I'm realistic, and this is edible art or food, or whatever you call it.
And after all this work, the big question is, does it taste as good as it looked?
It was one of the best cakes I think I've ever had.
Well, that's the most important thing.